So anyway, part two. So Pharrell's not there anymore, and he gave up because his cousin got shot or whatever by a police officer in Virginia Beach. There's a lot of racism there. I get that. Okay, I get that. But when you put a false government underneath this, white supremacist, you might as well say, organizations and leadership that's been there, how does that help if you put a false sense of identity and it's got an immature feel to it? How does that help anything? I want somebody that's been somewhere that knows more than whatever this vice mayor knew or whatever. I want somebody who knows what they're doing. Now, there's a lot of revenue that's coming in from the marijuana thing, but people like in California and things of that nature and all over the country are reporting that they're losing money because they're starting to regulate the marijuana industry. And as they're doing that, people are losing money, shops are closing. People aren't able to pay both the tax on marijuana and keep their businesses. So there's a good side and there's a bad side. I'm a big supporter of hemp. I think that hemp, as I said before, is a mother plant. It's non-toxic. There's no THC in most cases. And, I see no problem with it. I think that that's probably more viable than anything. And, you can also build with hemp as well, which is a new thing that's out. And I think, again, it's non-toxic and non-flammable. So I'm not some old head that's against, new things or whatever they're trying to promote people who are against this thing as being. I'm just someone who's keeping it real. For that area to be that unprofessional, and I know that in some areas in Portsmouth, it's really, I guess, old-fashioned and not getting where they need to be, right? It's not as progressive as like Virginia Beach or Hampton or somewhere like that. But in the same token, was this the proper representation and thing to do? It seemed more like a Miami type thing where that area is nothing like it. And I kind of felt like the reason why they had it in that stupid baseball field thing where you couldn't even really regulate an actual game there because of the fire hazards with all those people. So I'm trying to figure out how they even got a concert there at all. And I think it has something to do with the mayorship and all of that. But I was just like, would you want to have, and you have to understand too, and I'm not trying to be too intellectual, but I'm trying to tell you, there's something called environmental racism, right? And we bitch about this in the academic community, where they put factories in areas that have very, very low income. They put places that are toxic, that you have to breathe the air. That's why a large number of African American people oddly have asthma. That's why, right? This is why people have asthma, because we have to breathe other people's fumes because of income, and we have no choice. There's Cancer Alley and all these other places where sometimes chemicals are in the water because you're poor and nobody cares, right? It's in the air, it's in the water. You can't do anything about it. So when we're talking about this situation, this is what I'm talking about. The education that's needed to understand, what's really going on here. You heard in your own community, because I can see residential housing, right beside this venue pretty much. I don't know where they parked at. There's a parking garage downtown by Portside, like I mentioned before, like a big parking garage made for that reason, for event seekers. So I'm trying to figure out, are you going to take it or you want me to go?
I got it.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure out where they parked at. And then you're forcing people who may not be weed smokers to breathe in these fumes. There's children over there, right? Poor children. And maybe they didn't have a means of leaving for last night, right? You got people breathing your fumes, getting contact highs in a residential neighborhood. We don't have any events in residential neighborhoods like that. None. I don't know how they got the pass for it. I don't know how they got permission for it. I know they didn't put all that Black Lives Matter card crap. Because I'm like, what? So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Immaturity disguised as black folk. and black activism. And it's bull. Now, I don't know if they had that event inside, if it would have been safe as a fire hazard because you're doing all that damn smoking. Because they said they could smoke at the event. But then they told them, ironically, you can't drive home high. What dichotomy is that? You can tell somebody they can smoke weed at a concert, but then don't want them to drive home and get a DWI. I wonder, because cops out there are very racist and they're aggressive. I wonder how many of those people made it around the corner or down the street or what have you if they were waiting on the side of the interstate. Because I don't know how you do that. It takes at least 2 to 3 hours to get rid of that weed. Even from a contact damn high, it's going to take an hour. It's like, what? I don't know. My opinion, but I'm saying if people don't start recognizing that true activism involves real work, this is not real work, then, I mean, there's nothing else that we can do. I realized a long time ago there was a lot of different people. It's so hyper crowded down there now. I mean, there's so much going on. New tunnels, and we've already had several tunnels. Then we got more tunnels, more bridges, and overpopulation. And a lot of these are younger kids, and the violence has escalated. Not only from, you know, the younger generations, but also from the police. And this is what we do, a weed festival. I just want to know where that money went. And some of that, because VA knows this, that money better have gone back, some of that to some of those kids that had to sit down there and breathe that smoke. And I don't want to sound like Spider's mother. I'm just keeping it real. So anyway, I gotta go. I will talk to you guys a little bit later, and hope you have a great day. Bye.